I wear many different hats. Besides the hat of CEO of NCRST, which I'll explain in a moment, I also co-established the Green Hydrogen Research Institute and chaired that research institute while I was at UNO. I established the Center, Indian Namibia Center of Excellence at NAST, that came on since 2016, when I was actually also at NAST. And every time, one of the reasons why I actually moved, because in Namibia, we have to sort of drive activities from a higher level. So every time you encounter so many barriers, right? With green hydrogen, whenever I was going to the outside world, I worked very closely with Change Group, the Green Hydrogen Commissioner, because the first thing that people asked if they wanted to invest in Namibia is, do you have a research institute for green hydrogen? That was number one. What does your R&D capability look like? And then skills, etc. So then at one point there came a barrier where I was going out under the flag of the university, and internationally, the universities don't work individually. They work together with the private sector, together with each other, together with government institutions, and that's usually led by your research council or funding agency within the country at that level. So we started getting barriers that we couldn't move forward because they would say, but we don't want to speak to an individual university. For the past 2 years, since 2021, I have never had so much R&D being mentioned and being probed and put to the fore as what it was for green hydrogen and now lately for oil and gas. Never before in the country has so much emphasis being placed on R&D. And this is basically where the conversation needed to move up to a national level. So with that then, the NCRST, that's the National Commission on Research, Science, Technology, and Innovation, well, we have innovation in there as well, is essentially, according to the act that is established in 2004, is that act, it was established in 2014. The NCRST is responsible for coordinating, promoting, and developing research, science, technology, and innovation in Namibia. It's responsible for the overall coordination, responsible to develop national research, science, technology, and innovation infrastructure within Namibia. National meaning it should be open to anybody. Anybody should walk in from the street, any institution, any researcher from anywhere in the country can come into the national facilities and do research within there, all things, or be incubated. Another responsibility is, of course, establishment of councils, and another big one. There are several roles and responsibilities and powers, including being the national research regulator of the country. A very important function that the Act says is that the NCRST has to develop the national program on research, science, technology, and innovation for the country. Now, sometimes you will hear it being called the National Research Agenda in other countries, but it's the same thing. So we're responsible for developing that National Research Agenda. And this is where it all ties together. Whatever roles I have or had before, whatever work I did before, it ties into this National Research Agenda. And this agenda is to be set for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, why is it important? It defines the priority areas that we need to invest in terms of research, science, technology, and innovation. That's what it means. Just like the Harambee Prosperity Plan and all of the other instruments, it will come with funding as well, because we need to have funding to be able to have the work being done, to have the research being carried out within the country, to have the national research facilities or innovation facilities, whichever ones, being established. And there are, of course, plans on that. Now, I'm mentioning this as well because it is an inclusive process. We do consultations. And this Chevening alumni group, I see you as very key to sort of give us input into that, because we've established expert writing groups and expert input groups. We will be establishing expert national working groups in specific areas. So I see you as a very valuable source to tap into for the NCRST. So please stop me and ask me. I have like a lot of fabulous people that I can connect you with. But if you see me or Anna over there, just saying, please take down my name. I'd like to be included. The national research agenda is focusing, for instance, just to give you a high-level overview, on energy. That is the renewable energies, oil and gas, and of course green hydrogen, right? Priorities. Water, food security, health and wellness, education is very important. There is very little research that goes into education. In our 4IR report, education was the one thing in Namibia, not the only thing, but the one thing that was lagging. If you compare us to the whole region, when we did the assessment, we were lagging. We didn't have sufficient, for instance, IT or ICT graduates. We were the lowest in the region by far. We had, for instance, also, but the caveat on that one is that Namibia actually invests the highest amount into education, and yet the output that we're getting doesn't speak to what we're investing. So those were, and the report contains details on everything from vocational to basic education to higher education. That report is actually publicly available on the website of the Office of the President under HPP2. You can just Google 4IR Task Force report. It will only be Namibia's that will pop up, so you'll be safe, because South Africa's was, I think, 4IR Commission was it called. So if you Google that report, it will pop up. Please read it. It contains a lot of details. Anyways, and then of course we're looking at capacity building, increasing manufacturing capability, as well as the service industry. We're focusing also at NCRST on innovation. So we have industrial innovation programs that we carry out in the regions, also together with the universities, and we upscale innovators. We take them international as well. So we do provide that support. However, the support is limited to smaller numbers because we do not have so much capital. So, Mr. Eamon from Bank of Namibia, please connect with us. And then, of course, we also do grassroots innovation in all of the regions. Now, while I'm on innovation, Mr. Eamon, I was very disappointed. I was waiting anxiously for you to speak about the impediment of international pay gaps, because it's really, really a problem. You cannot speak about entrepreneurs, SMEs, startups in Namibia without that, mentioning that, because it's non-existent. Because what happens is you can do the most wonderful things. You can go sell your stuff online, you can advertise them on Instagram, on TikTok, or wherever, but you cannot cash out that money. You have to travel to South Africa, to the same banks, open a bank account, and then cash out. It's been coming on for years. With 4IR, we sat with all of the parties who's concerned. Bank of Namibia, PAN, you name it, everybody was there. PAN was also there. This is a problem that has to be solved. And unfortunately, Bank of Namibia, you are the ones to solve it, right? Because even if we go to NIB Investment Promotion Board, we can't solve it, and yet this will unlock a lot of entrepreneurial power, because in many of our assessments, we found that we have very innovative youth. Now, I take note of what you say about the proposals, that they're a copy and a paste, but we also see a lot of innovation coming from Namibians, but they're unable to sort of tap into that. And I think that perhaps they also don't know, the ones who go to Bank of Namibia might be, the bravest ones, right? So let's work together and see how that would go. I thought I had 15 minutes. So that's one of the things. Then the next one, let's talk about another area that we have as priority is AI and digitalization. So I'm putting it specifically as AI and not only as digitalization. Because really, since November 30th last year, we had undergone in the whole world a very rapid transformation and having to deal what was unleashed by OpenAI, right? Talking about ChatGPT, right? It's taken the world by storm. But those developments did not arrive there overnight, right? It was going on for many years. We know that in earlier years, like 2016, 2017, the Googles of the world and the Amazons of the world had been shutting down their AIs because they would communicate with each other, develop new languages that the computer scientists could not understand. We started going into black box AI development. Bill Gates called in early 2020 for a halt, and he also asked that we please consider the regulatory framework for this and the ethics, right? So it's these calls have been coming on for a while, but we were still caught unaware. And in Namibia, we will still be caught unaware maybe a year or 2 years from now, if we don't really do something. Now, AI and 4IR has many technologies with it, but we can harness it, right? We all know that it has tremendous benefits to bring about economic transformation, to bring about well-being of citizens, to, we can go into, wait, let me just say this. The Vision 2030, you mentioned it, she mentioned it as well before, had a gap analysis being done this year in April. And that gap analysis resulted in a number of studies being conducted. And then from the studies, there's a white paper for the development of the NDP6. Who knows about the white paper? That's the kickoff for NDP6. Who knows about it? Please ask NBC to share it with you, because it's quite interesting. And for scholars like yourselves and economists, etc., it's good to know. But there are a number of gaps that were highlighted and what we need to focus on. One of the gaps being highlighted is that Vision 2030 had never really gone into digitalization, into ICT development, right? It was neglected, it was silent, it always just said, yeah, we will use this as an enabler, and that's it. So there wasn't much of a focus. Now, coming back to the gap analysis, suddenly it's one of the key areas that we need to focus on. And for NDP6, there was for the kickoff thereof, the white paper speaks about the study that was done to look at each region and what you could develop within each region, right, to enhance the economy. And one of the ones is actually virtual software development centers or AI development centers, right? Because we have in Namibia a high youth unemployment rate, but we also have a high graduate unemployment rate, meaning that they already have a first degree, etc. You're not starting from scratch. And the education has changed of how you are going to train for the future, you know, especially for ICT skills or digitalization or AI skills. You don't need to do the linear path in the university. You can do it like 6 months, short courses, etc. That's how it has changed. This is why you're seeing coding academies coming up, because it doesn't follow that linear path anymore. So we have 0 minutes. So we have a very unique opportunity in Namibia to harness the fact that we have all of the unemployed youth, the fact that we can do short upskilling, retraining of this population, and the fact that we can actually then do software development or AI development for other countries, as well as in country, right? We have a lot of needs in this country. So those are some of the opportunities that we are seeing that we can actually harness. And this is why the NDP 6 with the consultations now is so important. Finally, the 4IR task force, in the report, there were a number of deficits identified, but, and we use the World Economic Forum's Future of Production as the assessment tool. But at the end of the day, there were 13 recommendations. And they were touching on education, they were touching on 4IR infrastructure, because we're lagging on that as well. It was touching on, all of the global trade barriers that we're facing. It was touching on the fact that we need a government, national data center, and I'm glad that many of the recommendations I've seen have been taken up since the action letter from the cabinet said that they needed to be actioned. But there's also an AI institute that will try to address the skills shortage. And the key thing on that is that in Namibia we have a severe uncoordination among sectors, fragmentation, right? Duplication of mandates. And this, in the recommendations, it addresses this as well with an oversight body as well as a consolidated 4IR strategy. Thank you very much. I'm done. How many minutes over time? Luckily, it was not so